Is there anything you're hoping to see these players do differently?
Here's one thing in particular I'd love to see just from a pure entertainment casting standpoint. Let me know in the chat and, of course, on Twitter using Fall Skirmish as the hashtag if you'd like to see as well. Tilted towers. We've seen one team drop there every single game. I want some confidence. I want some tilted fights. We know it's Aiden's towers or Nick's towers on the North American side. Europe, who's going to claim those towers today? I would love to see some tilted towers fights if we get it.
You know, I think what it is you know, they're scared. They go to Tilt Towers, and they know Nick and Aiden aren't in this lobby. But I think there's maybe this, like, fear. It's like, maybe if we go there, are they just going to show up? Am I going to open a door and Aiden's just there?
It's like a mini-boss fight.
Exactly. It's probably what it is.
And it's, you know, flexing his traps, and next thing you know, you have no shields. It's like... Interesting stuff. That's a good point.
For sure.
Maybe that does happen. You know, anything can happen. We have a cube that melted in the lake that made it bouncy. And Nick can appear in Tilted Towers any day. It really can happen.
Absolutely. I mean, he just shows up with all his muscles, and he's like, hey, how's it going? Oh, my gosh, we just saw the clingers go out. Okay. Oh,
beautiful. And I love what we saw right there from the Reaper skin is the ability to use right-hand advantage. And that's something that's not talked about enough in competitive Fortnite. It's a third-person game, which is brilliant, gives you a wide-angle view, and means you have a slight advantage when you're fighting to your right side than you do fighting to your left. Some players can use that to peek, can use that to hold an advantage, and you can really see the entire opponent in entirety without them seeing any of you or maybe just your arm. It's a beautiful, beautiful power play and something that we don't see it happen enough, I don't think, or talked about enough here at the commentary level.
There you go. So if you're looking to level up your gameplay, take advice from Fallout. Learn to utilize the right side of the screen because he's absolutely right. You get so much advantage out of that. But look at this point-blank fights. Oh, Fnatic Power finds himself an elimination there of that Vitality adds, but immediately Yoshi from Solary is here and cracks back with an SMG.
Brilliant third partying right there from Solary. You hear a fight going on, maybe across the street. You know something's happening. You know they're going to be weak. They're going to be tagged up from the damage that's done. You got to follow that up immediately. I like the confidence early on from Solary, and they're going to come out on top in the Salty Springs fight. I also love what I saw from Fnatic there. I think that was a member of Fnatic in Salty Springs. He knew that Vitality adds was hurt, and he, again, brilliant use of resource management, knew that he had more resources, or more HP in this case, to take that fight with confidence and come out on top. Brilliant play from Fnatic before they got taken out by the likes of Solary.
That's right. Now their other dual partners, Fnatic Ethnics and Jarl, are here in Viking Village or Valhalla Village. I don't know, what do you call this place?
Viking Village personally, by default, but Valhalla I like both. You're the same. See, we're always on the same page.
Yeah, Viking Village, dog. I try to coin things and name places before anyone else. It doesn't always work, but you know,
you've done a couple of them.
Viking Village, I think, has been the only one.
You're a Twitch emote or a meme on Twitter. So I've seen a lot of that stuff.
Oh,
it's pretty cool.
God.
It's happening.
Oh, no. This is my life now. But you know what Severin's life is right now is trying to secure this elimination, which he does.
And not easy to do against the likes of Fnatic. Well done from Severin. Severin, who is really a breakout player on the European side. I expect big things from this young man. He has been such a phenomenal performer. Played at PAX West, did not qualify, unfortunately, but I think we're going to see big things out of him. And here's that third party from Solary with such aggression, such speed, and agility. They take that 2 versus 1 third party, and they come out on top.
And I love just the way they breach and clear. They both go in, and they just say, we're going to commit, we're going to take this wall down, and we're just going to take this player and take that elimination for ourselves. Thank you very much.
And I love that. From duos, you see a lot of different styles of play in kind of in meta games or in mid games. You see sometimes a bait and switch. Sometimes you have to make the decision like they just did right there. We need to play with aggression. We need to barrel stuff or get in the face of the opponent and play with aggression. That's exactly what they did right there. So a little bit of a power play, smart power play right there from the Solary team as they come out with the elimination and Salty Springs as a result.
That's right. Back over to Pleasant Park. Solary MZQ goes down. It was Windwalker here who takes him down and confirms the elimination there. So now it's Airwalks here as well. And it looks like they're just going to own Pleasant Park. There's one more player. Remember, this spectator client gives us more information. So whenever you're looking at the top right, you can see all the players within the vicinity. So we can very clearly see it was Lothar who's up front there. And unfortunately, he is taken down. That is another elimination heading their way. But for a moment there, we saw players peeking down on the, northwest, or rather southwest of the map. With 71 players left. Man, this is just changing. There's action happening all over the map.
Left, right, and center. I love it. And look at this. Solary is representing today. How many Solary players are competing? A big shout out to them as it's a testament to their skill. Meanwhile, Mitro picking up an elimination at the bottom left of your screen. Senpai getting taken out as well in this one. It's been really, really exciting to see a lot of this gameplay so far.
And now taking out the overhead map. I mean, we now know where the next circle is going to be. It's going to be closer down to the lower half of the map, which is good. But just take a look at all the teams. They're still pretty evenly spread out. You know, you've talked about this a lot, Fallout, and that is making early rotations. We see people all the way out in Junction. They need to start making their way over. It's a far walk unless they have a rift to go. There is a rift near Junction, just down south there a little ways. But look at this, a huge hit, airwalks, hits Airwalker for 40 damage at range.
Airwalks versus Windwalker. I love it. Interesting, interesting play on names here.
Airwalks and Windwalker.
Interesting play on names here in this one. I like the use of the bounce pad right there. I'm still to the point where I'm not used to that Porta-Fortress. I forget that there's bounce pads since I'm so used to the Porta-Fort, and I'll accidentally drop and fly across the map. Of course, Airwalks, a pro player, is more than familiar with the function of that new item. He's been putting a lot of practice time in and grinding and getting ready for this one. Here we go. Interesting engagement. One-on-one. Windwalker's ready for it. The build-off is about to ensue. Windwalker does have height advantage. He's going to tag him up for about 60 HP right there. Well played from Windwalker as the battle of the walks, or the walkers. Currently Windwalker on top.
Everyone is trying to commit and say, I am the better wind user of some kind.
Air, wind, all sorts of elements at play here, and Windwalker now loses his advantage. And how much HP does Airwalks have? 10 HP, and he comes out on top in that engagement. Well played. Wow. And air greater than wind, it's official. Hashtag, tweet it out, air is officially the superior to wind.
It's so much fun casting with you. Over to Lucky Landing, Skite and Camo against Unique Marijuana here. I mean, we saw Marijuana show up last game doing very impressive things. So now, you know, who do you think takes this fight? Especially now that they have a zone advantage. They're at the edge of the map. They don't really have to, they can basically take their time, if you will.
Yeah, I like the situation that Marijuana's in. He currently has a big shield to his name, purple heavy shotgun, SMG right after that. It's, of course, a blue SMG, and full health, full shields for both of them. Here's the thing, though. Sometimes you're not aware. They don't get the little marker, an indicator of the opponent's health that we get. So they don't know that the Ghost and Skite team are weak right now, and that's why they're not playing with such aggression. I wish they did have that intel, because they'd be playing a lot more aggressive right now. But I think Unique's in a good position right now.
Definitely. So now 30 seconds left until the storm overtakes its current area. We see, oh my gosh, there's actually players out at the very edges of the storm right now. People are in Tilted Towers making their way in. And now this is where things are going to slow down for a moment. We've got 64 players left in the current lobby. It's the next safe zone that we get where players are going to have to start migrating, start figuring out where it is they need to go to get safe. But Incline sees Camo up top. And he's going to try and take a shot. Probably offshot too. I mean, they're up in the sky. It's a pretty tough shot to make. So, but Dav goes down to Ollie Gamers. He's going to look to secure the elimination. There you go.
Played from him, his teammate, Mr. Kororo, who we were very impressed by in game number 2. He's going to come out with the elimination as well. So 2 separate 1 versus 1 fights, and it comes out. It works out for them. Meanwhile, big fight ensuing. It's Marijuana and his teammate against Ghost. Ghost is tagged up here in this one. Skite's going to get tagged up as well. So a good position. Once again, we talked about the advantage that they had. Now it's even greater. And Clyde's going to pick up 1. He's going to die to fall damage. Oh my goodness.
Oh, no.
And he gets knocked to fall damage. So knocked down right now.
Oh gosh.
It looks like he'll be able to get the revive. He should be okay.
He's like, look, I'm going to pick up this loot before I come and get you. I love you, but I'm going to... He's trying to open the door. He can't open the door because his teammate... There you go. All right, go inside. It's okay. It's okay, my love. Get inside.
Go. Ghost.
Okay, all right.
Camo. Playing with aggression here. He knows the revive's coming. Marijuana's just going to bait the revive here. So interesting situation now. Will Ghost go all out?
Dude, I think he goes for... Oh, he's not going for it.
He can hear... Camo can hear it right now if he goes for the revive. So it's too late for that. Or he can bait it, though. He can easily click the revive button, which is most likely E in his case, and then be able to stay alive, stop reviving, and bait the push from Camo. How's he going to play this one?
He gets the revive.
He got the revive. You're right.
Yep. Wow. Camo maybe played it a little too safely there. He's just trying to find out information. So as you can see, but that means that he's able to get his teammate up.
And you're right, that's what he did. But I mean, he has all the information he needs. He knows one's knocked. He needs to play a little more aggressive there, in my opinion. But of course, easier said than done from my purview. A lot more at stake here for him. He gets taken out.
Ooh, and he goes down there. I mean, Marijuana playing it really well there. Look at that. Now his teammate Inclide's up as well. They just heal top off, collect loot, and
on the edge of the island as well.
Yeah.
In a great position here. We talked about it earlier, and they ended up coming out on top after we did call how good of a position they were in. Now, big fight going on over here. Boy. Rocket launch in the hands of Mitro. Mitro, who's been a performer and a blast to watch so far. Nice building as well. And he's going to get high ground. Well played from Mitro. Close to losing that high ground, though, but he maintains. Misses that first shot, trying to connect here. Looks like one teammate is down low side. Mitro gets tagged up, pretty weak here. He's still building up higher and higher into the sky now. Goes Mitro. He says, I'm out of here. Rift to go. Is someone else going to grab that? No, he's out. Well played.
He is out. I think that was the best play you could have made. You know, his teammate was down.
Look at that. Yeah,
the Storm is going to start making his way in. And look, as you can tell from the spectator mode here, there's also 2 other teams there pinching that team that he was engaged with. So it's just best to cut your losses. Say, look, teammate, I'm sorry. I need to play for another day, though. We need points.
Well said.
And look at that. Svenos goes down here in this replay, and he had a Port of Fortress.
Wow.
Boy, oh boy.
Massive, massive. Meanwhile, Kinzel playing with Svenos. So Svenos' teammate here, left in 1 versus 1. He wants that Port of Fortress back. Jetpacks can take it if he wants to. He's going to edit. And what a fight this has been so far. Of course, the winner will be rewarded with the Port of Fortress here. As Kinzel using that grappler to get high ground, but almost takes some fall damage there instead. Martin is down. Not sure if he realizes it.
Man, he's just doing a... So he was doing a great job of keeping Jetpacks from getting his teammate up. The pressure was great there, but Jetpacks was just prepared for it, takes his shot.
Yep.
And he secures the elimination.
And not necessarily what Kinzel did wrong, it's what Jetpacks did so well. I love the aggression from Jetpacks. Under pressure, your teammate's down and just a few seconds away from getting eliminated due to down but not out damage, and instead he's able to stay alive. Well played.
Yeah, man. You could tell he was very calm, and that led to him being able to revive his teammate. And now they both top off with a med kit. You love to see it.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
You love to see it.
But back in the action here.
But as we saw from the mini-map, players are still starting to move in. We've got 44 players left alive in this lobby. We got a bunch of teams here in Dusty. We got a few in retail. Salty Springs is currently a hotspot, and more teammates are going to be starting to make their way over there. Pate 1K is here trying to engage a player. He's so low. Oh man, if he had decided to engage there, he would have been met with a trap. So very well played there. Not just trying to run through as quickly as possible. Just, again, it's this methodical play we see coming out of EU. Everything feels so precise. It feels so tight.
Yep.
They're just constantly on top of things and making these, honestly, impressive decisions.
Yeah, completely agreed. Well played. The entire European region. A big shout out to European Fortnite. Be proud and rep it proud here as you're representing the entire region, entire continent. Awesome stuff. Meanwhile, on board with Kingwin Heisel. He's currently just trying to get the ownership of as much as he can and trying to stay alive and catacomb himself towards the mid-ground.
And now we get the new safe zone, which is Dusty Divot. Look at this, man. Look how many teams are here inside Dusty. Now this has become a safe zone, which is good, but you don't want to fight inside trees, and you don't want to basically be in a giant bowl with other people that you can't necessarily leave whenever you want. We're going to see some action very soon here. Oh, Wildcard Alpha as well, still in this game. We saw him with the Alpha pose coming in earlier.
I love it. Awesome stuff here. So, VP 7SSK7 in a big fight here. I think it might be a 1 versus 2 fight. Needs to be a little cautious. Meanwhile, going to jump on board with Iran, who's just going to box himself out here. SK7 picks up the kill on Le, gets the elimination on Le, and just like that, it was actually 2v1 in favor of the VP team. Well played by them.
Man, 25 seconds before the Storm starts to move yet again, Fallout. I mean, we still have 41 players, so we saw that last game as well. I mean, these lobbies are still so full and so stacked of players. But I mean, look, a lot of the players have actually made their way. If we can take a look at the mini-map here in just a moment, a lot of players are actually within the safe zone. There's only a few teams that are out with outside of the circle. I mean, look, so these are a lot of them right here in Salty Springs. I mean, look at that. So many teams are just fine. They're in Dusty. They're just waiting. But there's a lot of that space up top that's unused.
Yeah,
I mean, players might want to just, I mean, well,
again,
here's the back and forth, right? You could say, okay, well, if I'm, say, that team that's just in front of you, Ron, I could take that north side and just relax.
Yep.
But they've got center circle. So they're making these early rotations, right? The moment that circle then collapses, they get to know exactly when the next circle is going to be.
This map is brilliant because this map purely shows the importance of early rotations. And the point that we were making before is only 2 or 3 teams rotate center circle here. Look how many people are on the outskirts. That fight in Dusty Divot on the outskirts of that circle, thinking that they're safe. You're not nearly as safe as you think you are. Get center of the circle. Literally, use your marker, the brilliant new marker system in Fortnite to put a marker center circle, get there ASAP, and build yourself a 1x1. And now this big fight in Dusty Divot is going to result in a lot of eliminations here.
Jam side here. And again, this is just outside of Retail Row. Now he's pretty okay, right? He's going to top off with some shields. He's got 1 elimination. And hopefully his teammate has some, because don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, everyone's fighting for eliminations. If their duo can find 4 eliminations, they get a point. At 6, they get 2, and at 8, they get 3. And man, the scoreboard right now is very close.
Yeah. 41 people still on the island and left to fight for these final few circles. Looks like some important minis are going to be picked up right there by Jamside and Clyde right below him. Sop's going to pick up an elimination on Martin, and Tixi getting one as well at the bottom left of your screen right there. And it looks like people are finally starting to disperse a little bit. Want to see those early rotations come through. Tixi going to continue to pop off with an elimination on Kidstar.
Oh, wow. So they that was actually a sick play. So they box in an area and drop grenades within that area. So the moment that one goes off, the rest are going to fall in and start blowing up and cascading, essentially destroying everything.
Yep. Mirwana now. We saw him earlier making plays, representing Unique against Jamside in a big fight here. Mirwana's going to go down, actually, so it's all up to Clyde. And Clyde all by himself. It's going to be Wildcard Bowman who picks up the elimination. He, of course, was also at PAX West in Seattle and qualified, I believe, for Monday in the finals in that one. All up to Clyde here. Ooh, couple grenades. Of course, no friendly fire, so they'll be safe to launch those as free will.
And you heard those sounds. He's definitely popped the shields of a player down below. And man, is that SSK looking at me? He's like no HP at all. They're trying to secure this elimination. SSK goes down. It's in Clyde. He just needs to be very careful.
Can you believe it? In Clyde, in a 1 versus 2, takes out one. All left to a 1 versus 1 against Jamside here. Can Clyde do it? Can he be a hero for his teammate Mirwana, who was taken down earlier? All on board with Jamside, and Jamside's going to connect for the elimination. And Clyde did not pick up the elim on SK7, so that's going to be a revive and 1 less elimination for Clyde right there. That might have been enough to pick up an additional point. Wow, interesting way that action broke down.
Huge clutch coming out from Jamside. He gets his teammate up, and they're live to fight another day. Or as Nick A30 once said, you live to be eliminated another day. Which, that stuck with me for pretty much since he said it.
Yep, that is a very valid point. Unless, fight or be eliminated, unless you're, of course, taking home that victory royale, which is always very sweet.
Exactly. But man, look, so we're now 30 seconds here before this next safe zone will show itself. Again, this spectator client is magnificent. I mean, taking a look at the top right, you can see exactly what players are. Now, keep in mind, we can see that, they cannot see that. So this is just information for us. But man,
what a grenade right there. Any international basketball fans, that was a beautiful LeBron James-esque grenade for Giannis Antetokounmpo if we're talking Europe. Well placed right there. Beautiful, beautiful plays from Vermax. He picks out one down, and I believe got the elimination as well.
Look at that. There's just so many players there. He could just keep chucking grenades and potentially find an elimination.
Beautiful.
They opted to
throw him mid-flight.
Oh, dude, that would be crazy.
That would have been like a fadeaway jumper.
Yeah, exactly. And then he just finds like 5 eliminations, and we lose our minds.
I would lose it. You're right. And that's we haven't seen grenades being really held to late game. A lot of people don't opt to hold on to those grenades, at least so far of what we've seen today.
Yep.
And I love it. Uncommon item that still has some great late game potential, and we're showing right there why they're important for Max, showcasing a variety of gameplay.
Just so much craziness happening here in the final few circles of the game. 28.
And the Vic sitting in a great spot right now with full health, full shields. He, of course, is representing the club Fortnites. You know, like I said, this is Game 4, by the way. I did mention earlier on in the broadcast, you have until the end of Game 4 to pick your allegiance, to pick your loyalties. Which club will you represent? Oh, God.
Whoa! Okay, it's okay. We're fine.
Real scary.
Everything's good.
And a good way to pick your club is find your favorite player and cheer them on, cheer on that club. Maybe your favorite group of players. We'll keep feeding you information as to who's representing what. Of course, find these players' Twitters. They've all announced it most likely, and for the most part on Twitter as well, which clubs they're part of. But the Vic, who's been playing really well, part of Fortnite's, looking to be in a good spot here.
And still, man, we still have 28 players left.
Yep.
Nothing has happened. There's been shots. There's been a little bit of things happening. Oh, Bowman moving forward with that bouncer. That's a great way to cover some distance, because now look, now the storm actually is on its way.
Yep.
It's going to start overtaking this area and shifting, so players are going to start scrambling. They need to get safe as quickly as possible. But now these players just play gatekeeper.
Yeah, and can you believe that? Bowman and Beehive's able to rotate all the way to center circle without taking much damage at all. it goes to show good movement and good mobility items can really help you succeed. Those bounce pads right there really help them out. And look at the mini-map and this beautiful spectator mode. The top right of your screen, you see so many arrows, so much activity. And what a different late game we saw than game number 1, where really no one was mid-ground, no one was high ground. This time the exact opposite is we see these brilliant structures built.
All the gamers up top was taking shots. We've got a bunch of players down low, and now Fallout, we're gonna get a brand new safe zone. I didn't want to say it, but basically I was gonna say I hope it doesn't move outside the current zone. So that was an addition we saw with this last season rather, was that storms can now, the safe zone can move outside into the storm. And it basically forces players to move, right? People can't just say, I'm going to box up and be safe here. It's like, no, I actually have to reassess what's going on. We have to make our way to this new safe zone with 30 seconds left to get Wildcard Alpha with like 3 HP.
Unbelievable.
Strike the pose, Wildcard.
Imagine in the middle of all that.
Just really quickly.
He gets eliminated striking the pose. That would have been crazy. But yeah, you're right. This is as max of a rotation of the circle and the final storm as it gets. You have to run cross map. Be tight here, and I expect a lot of crazy pushes as everyone will be flowing almost like a swarm, an army of ants pushing towards that final circle. And there you have it, a double elimination by Vic with a clinger grenade. Only one left. He threw 2 and he picks up 2. Beautiful plays right here, and here comes the swarm of ants as mentioned before.
They are now trying to make their way to safety. As you can see from this view here, I mean, look at this. Everyone is literally scrambling. They're building on top of each other. They're cutting each other off. They're changing elevations. I mean, look, Vic is trying to join in on this fight. He sees a player there engaged with another. And here within 5 seconds, we'll finally land in the current new safe zone. And then yet again, Fallout, we're going to see a brand new, look at this. Again, it moves.
Unbelievable.
On top of that, Fallout, it moves on the very lip of the Dusty Divot. So they have to go up and over this.
Oh my gosh, it'll be crazy.
This is going to spell disaster for a lot of players.
I absolutely love it. This is almost like New York City on a busy traffic day, as none of these players have any regard for one another. They are flying and they have their own agendas. Or more like West Virginia, given the amount of hills that they have to climb here in Dusty Divot.
Yeah, that's fair, man.
I gotta the Alps, maybe. I gotta use some more European references. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
London on a busy day, maybe instead it's the Alps. There you go. Sorry, friends.
We've only got 18 players left, Fallout. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the current format is Hold the Throne. So players are fighting for points. Victory is worth 3 points. Second or third is worth 2, and fourth and fifth are worth 1. And don't forget about those elimination thresholds. These duo teams are looking for as many eliminations as possible. At 4 points to get, or 4 eliminations to get 1 point. 6 eliminations is 2, and 8 eliminations, man, is at 3.
Crazy. Now we're seeing it. The mountain is literally blocking people from progressing forward. And there you have it, a nice flank to come through from the Vic. The Vic is still alive, and he finally gets eliminated. All down to 15 people. We were just at 18 just a minute ago. Make that 14. Trap plays are coming in. These players are clutching up when it matters the most. On board with Beehive. And look at Miz sitting top circle, the early rotation, and a shockwave grenade's gonna come through, but he's in a great spot to be able to stay alive and value his life here.
Now, oh my gosh, Fallout. The storm just moved again, and it's back down where they came from.
Oh my goodness.
The storm is just playing games right now. We've got 10 players left, and look, the remote explosive's coming down. There's a player going down. This is coming down to the wire. 9 players left. There goes Taboo, takes down DK.
Yep.
And Hunter.
A minigun with 800 rounds of ammunition with Miz and a rocket launcher. He has high ground. He has a minigun. We don't see this end game loadout very often, and Miz is making it work brilliantly.
Oh no. That was so close. He almost fell down. It's okay though. Dude, honestly, I feel like he just needs to start firing straight down. Fire all your rockets. Just force people to use mats, force them to change elevation.
I love this. He's making them run out of mats here. And save the rockets for late game on the rotation where you can catch people off guard. Or for that, no, not enough.
Close. He was almost able to thread the needle there.
Yeah, and that's one thing. People think the rockets are very easy to use. There's an element of skill with the rockets that people don't realize. A lot of people use them and just launch it at cover. You want to hit the sides of cover to get eliminations with the rockets. Be patient with them instead. It's a waste of a rocket if you just throw it at cover and break cover, because someone's just going to rebuild right after that. Like that.
Taboo goes down, and yet again, M11 is just up top with his teammate. They're firing down. They need to do something. They need to get here.
No heals. They don't have to go.
Nothing.
Here comes the fight.
Everyone's in a bull. Wait, what happened?
He won. Miz won.
Did Miz find? Oh, wow. That was absolutely You can see his teammate sitting right in front of him. Okay.
Crazy.
Okay. Okay. That was a lot of things that we just witnessed, okay?
Once
Man,
again,
EU makes this